nagalit. Sabi niya, was the, oh my God, pinangalanan ko.
Hey guys, good mali.
Bakit tayo magtanong?
Hey guys, welcome to the 5th episode of the Bakit Show. So this episode is very special kasi meron tayong dalawang first times na magaganap for this episode. Una, this is the first ever virtual interview. And then the second is, hindi lang isa, but dalawa ang aking guest. Two beautiful, loud, and proud individuals. So, sino nga ba itong mga guests ko na to? So, the first one is, he has been in the theater industry for the longest time and kilalang-kilala na talaga siya doon, and he's also into stage management for live events. So, I'm really honored and happy to welcome Baha Vergara. Hi, Baha!
Hello!
So now, let me welcome naman our second guest. Okay, so he has been in the education and communication industry for so many years now, and he's already based in the US. So let me welcome Anil Ratanchandani. Anil, hello!
Hello! How are you?
Good. How are you there? Anong oras dyan ngayon sa
My
US?
God, it's 7:19 a.m. O, gising na
Wow.
gising.
Good morning.
Diba?
Okay, so again, so sobrang thank you talaga for saying yes to guest in my, mini show. Sobrang honored talaga ako kasi
Mini ka na mini.
these two individuals are like, kilalang-kilala na sila, batikan na sila sa kanilang mga industry and in their career path. So I'm really honored. Okay. So first is, before we start, I guess, what made you say yes, I guess, to be part of the show?
Well, for one, I believe in you.
Ah.
So, I really hope mag-soar high itong endeavor mo. And number two, kasi naka-quarantine tayo. So, wala naman siguro masama to entertain ourselves by using your
Correct.
show.
Right.
So, yun. Gusto ko lang din ma-entertain yung sarili ko. And number three, I miss doing this with Anil also. Hindi rin kami masyado nagkikita or kahit nag-uusap. So, I'm very happy to see your faces kahit sa virtual screen lang. So, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Baha. How about you, Anil?
Ay, it's so funny. So, to all her like loyal viewers, when I first met Gail, my God, ang dami niyang tanong always. As in, so bakit ganyan? Tapos parang, when a 2-year-old always asks why. As in,
Yeah.
parang, I think one time, tinignan ko siya, tapos bakit dahil mong tanong? Bakit dahil mong tanong?
Right, I remember that day.
So when I saw you come up with this, I was like, perfect. Kasi parang Gail is naturally curious. And parang this is the perfect, way to parang not just share who you are, but, also give a little joy to some people. So first, parang, I've always been supportive of you and I've always been a cheerleader for you. So parang being part of this endeavor is actually more of an honor and a privilege for me. Also, like, Baha, it's going to be very fun and, it's going to be, I think, a nice way to entertain all of ourselves. And, parang ang daming birds in one stone. So I think it's really exciting.
Wow, thank you so much for all the kind words. And yes, totoo yun. I guess kaya nga siguro talagang nag-maintain yung relationship namin even after the workplace. Kasi, parang we just really want to have fun and we agree on a lot of things. So thank you so much. Okay, so now, moving on to our real Bakit question for the 5th episode. I chose this Bakit question is because the common denominator of these two amazing individuals that they're very loud and proud. Like, unapologetic sila with their beliefs, with their opinions, that when they believe something, when they believe in something, when they love something, they really stick to it and they really speak up about it no matter what happens. So, with that, ang naisip kong question for the both of them is, so, Anil and Baha, bakit tingin nyo importante na marinig ang inyong boses?
Siguro si Miss America muna. Diba? Siyempre,
Okay.
yung colonizer muna bago yung colonize.
Actually, alam mo, yung speaking up naman kasi, people do it always. Parang it just depends on the setting. Diba parang on who you're comfortable with, ganyan. Yung difference lang namin ni Baha is, kahit hindi kami comfortable, mag-speak up kami. Yung iba kasi maghahanap ng comfort level. Kami, hindi. But
Right.
I think what's important to parang pinaka-highlight about that speaking up, hindi lang siya a matter of speaking up. I think what's very important is you have to go back to the intention on why you're saying those things. Ang intention mo ba is for good? Is just to, piss somebody off? Ano ba yung intention mo? So I think I like that, you introduce us now. We're very passionate about the things we love. Kasi we always speak up because we love it. It's not because of anything else. It's always bigger than people. And it's a matter of the subject. So, if we love what we're doing, we're going to speak up, diba?
Right. Wow, that's so beautiful. How about you, Baha?
Ako mahaba ang pasensya ko. But hold your horses. Wait, I'm not yet done. Wait lang. Wait. Mahaba ang pasensya ko. But I go nuclear. I really raise hell through my voice. So medyo ganun ako. But kapag sa mga maliliit na bagay lang naman, medyo mahaba naman yung pasensya ko. So for me to be able to reach to that beast mode, ibig sabihin, accumulated, series of patience, papasensya, understanding. So, medyo ganun ako. Pero nagmamature tayo, no? There were things I did in the past that I wasn't proud of because of speaking up and speaking out. But one thing will never change, I guess, I will always speak up. I will say something about something that I really believe in, not just me joining the bandwagon because we need to talk things like what Anil said. The intention should be clear, and that's very important to me.
So we've already established nga na for you, you are speaking up, you are speaking out because of the things you're very passionate about, because of the things that you love. Can you cite some very specific or particular examples when you spoke out?
Talaga ba? Pupunta tayo dyan. May example. May concrete example talaga.
Ano naman?
Oh my God, Kay.
One lang.
But I have many actually, but I will just choose one. Sige mo.
Yeah, isa lang.
Sige. Okay. Oh my God. Hirap kasi balikan ng mga scar, diba? Lalo na ngayong quarantine, my God, napapaisip ka talaga. What have you done? But I'm so proud of myself anyway. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay. I was very young. I was a very young stage manager. So nobody knew me during that time. I sold myself to a theater company kasi that's in my case. So what I'm saying is if there are people who are niningitian ng swerte, ako hindi. In my case, I always sell myself up until today actually. But anyway, so there was this one time I got accepted to a theater company and I was so happy. But then that theater company had a different culture. Kung saan ako nanggaling. But I was the only outsider actually during that time. So it was very difficult for me. Tapos hindi kami magkasundo ng director. The director wasn't speaking to me, which was quite weird for, if sa theater kasi they're the couple, kumbaga, when it comes to staging a play, it should be the director and the stage manager. But the director didn't talk to me. I was the stranger in that company. Hindi ako pinapansin. So I was just there. Okay? And then it went to hanggang dumating na yung malapit na yung show. So it's very stressful. We already transferred to the theater. Ganyan. Tapos, there was this particular mistake that nagkamali ako. Aminado naman ako. Sumigaw siya. Nung time, eto na yung nuclear. Inipon ko lahat yun. Walang narinig. Naggalit. Sabi niya, was the, oh my God, pinangalanan ko. Okay, please edit that, okay? Oh, why? He doesn't know the cues. She doesn't even name me, okay? Hindi niya ako tinawag. So that bastos, so nairita talaga ako. So I had a mic then I was in the middle of everyone. I was in the middle of the stage. Then I shouted, okay, ma'am, I know my cues. I'm the stage manager. I was so angry. All of my anger since day one. Up until umabot ako sa point na yon, everything in that voice while I was saying those lines. And then, hindi ko alam, na-compose ko lang yung sarili ko. Tapos, the rehearsal went on. And then, kinabukasan, bigla siya lumapit sa akin, the director, and she was like, "Hey, Baha, would you like some sandwiches?"
Biglang change of heart.
Sabi ko, anong nangyari dito? Sabi ko, minsan talaga yung mga tao kailangan nasisigawan mo pa para magbabago. So, I was proud of that moment. But that's one, I think, of the positive things when you speak out.
Yeah, right.
Because the people sometimes do not know they're doing something wrong.
That's actually very good. So is speaking out always related to an emotion of anger?
Matanda na kasi ako. So iba na yung pananaw ko ngayon. So but to answer, kung sasagutin kita like 10 years ago, I would say yes. But if I'm gonna answer you now, as in this moment, I would say of course no. Because who doesn't like to get angry or to be angry? Wala. Asama sa loob, basta sa dibdib. There are many things that you could get without shouting, without getting angry. Speaking out doesn't always have to be in that tone, anger tone.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, Baha. How about you, Anil?
Yun nga, you mentioned that because a lot of people confuse speaking up with anger.
Yes, yun nga eh.
It's really not. And I think parang Baha and I parang agree to do this because we've made a lot of mistakes with confusing the two. And we don't want to do it again. Kasi hindi naman siya ganon. The nature of speaking out is not anger, is not creating negativity. It's supposed to improve things. Kaya parang iba yon. Iba yung nagagalit ka lang. Iba yung you're actually giving substantial constructive opinions about situations. So I just wanted to clarify that and put it out there na iba siya ha. So let's not confuse it. Ako, I've always been kasi, it's always been in my nature. So parang as a student, I was a student leader and I was part of like a very progressive student organization. So we were, parang lobbying against policies. So yung training ko with that part, parang as very young, I was like 16 when I was in college. So, doon na nag-start na, we were lobbying for policies, tapos medyo galit-galit ka pa kasi estudyante ka, idealist. Pero nung bata pa ako, even in high school, I remember ang dami ko ng incidents where I would say things and I would always be told na you have to manage the way in which you say it. So I'm very thankful naman na parang from high school, college, even some workplaces, parang acknowledge that I am a very opinionated person, but also parang tried to parang calm me and let me know na there is a right, not man right, but there is a more conducive way of expressing yourself. Hindi ka kailangan parati magagalit. So parang may, I get very passionate nga about things that I like. Tapos may one time na parang, I think it was so random, parang something just happened na hindi ko type. So I went and one of the bosses, I marched into his office and I was just like, I don't think this is right. Yung parang, you should be doing this, not like this. Because we were already told that what we're doing is not right. Parang nainis ako kasi paulit-ulit na sinasabi sa amin as a company, stop doing this specific thing because it will not help anyone. And I don't know why it fell on deaf ears for how many times na. So, parang nainis ako, tapos nag-barge in ako, ganyan. Siyempre, yung boss was like, I understand your concern, but you have to fix the way in which you barge in here.
Right.
Parang you could just take a seat and let me know properly, and we will talk about it. So, syempre ako, sorry, kasi yun nga yung back to the first topic, paulit-ulit lang sinasabi. Pag paulit-ulit, medyo nakakaasar. But, tama naman yung guy na parang, I shouldn't have done it that combatively na parang I'm coming into war and being like, hindi ganon. So, tama naman siya. But I think, after that, I tried to be more conscious. Kasi, medyo mahirap siya eh. With some people, medyo mahirap siya. Because it takes two to tango. So even if I'm speaking up, the receiving party also has a role in which to properly process criticism. But for me, it's also a manner in which how you communicate is very, very important.
Correct. So which leads me to my next question. Have you ever experienced that nag-speak up na kayo about a certain belief or a certain situation, like calmly, but then again, the person you talked to about it did not listen? And how did you handle that?
I'll go.
Okay.
That happened a lot, a series of times with me. Alam mo, Gail, I am in so many years of working from one company to the next, or just being with people, parang may iba nga, I remember, kahit na sobrang for the good of it yung mga comments ko, parang tinatawag akong reklamador. Like, yan si Anil, reklamador yan. Sure, I'm gonna take it. Reklamador ko because there are so many things to improve and we're sleeping on it. Instead of addressing issues now. And, I'm confident to be a reclamador in specific areas because I know the area I'm complaining about. Right. It's not because wala lang, I see it as a third party and I have comments. Right. It's different. I know the arena. That's why I have so much confidence to say this is not how it's gonna work. But anyway, meron akong experience na ganyan na parang paulit-ulit na. And you know what? At some point, you just realize you have to go. Na parang you don't have to force it. If the situation is not working, you cut the cord. And that's a very, very good trait to have. Actually, a lot of people misconstrued cutting the cord for immaturity when it's the complete opposite. It's the exact opposite. When you learn to cut the cord, when you learn to not stress yourself out, when you learn to to be able to compartmentalize that feeling and say, this is no longer good for me. That doesn't mean you're giving up. That means you're making a decision to love yourself and to put yourself first. That is a very mature decision. So baliktad yun, hindi siya yung, ay nako, immature kasi siya kaya he gave up. That is not giving up. That is you knowing when to stop fighting and when to choose yourself. So, ay ganon. Ako ang ginawa ko, I left. Parang, why? If you're never gonna listen, if it's always gonna be personal, na feeling mo, pinapersonal kita kahit wala naman akong pakialam sa personal life mo, and then let's just end this, diba? Parang it's like a breakup. Hindi tayo nagko-communicate, hindi tayo nagkakaintindihan. But don't ever let that stop you from speaking. Yeah. Diba? Parang it's gonna happen, it's bound to happen. You're going to face conflicts as you go through life, but don't let it stop you. Instead, ganito, let it empower you.
That's so beautiful. That's sobrang interesting nung insight na yun ni Anil. Kasi ang dami nga ngayon na parang because they were cut off, because of speaking up, parang they're already parang traumatized about it and they wouldn't speak up ever again. So, that's very beautiful, Anil. Thank you so much. How about you, Baha?
Maraming beses, kaya marami akong trabaho kasi umaalis ako. No, let me contextualize.
Literal.
Literal. So that's how I fight people who don't listen. Okay, ganun ako. I rage war by leaving the company. Charing. Okay, hindi, contextualize lang natin because most of my life, professional life, freelancer ako eh. So it's either people who get me and people who I get or people I know and people I trust. So when it comes to communication and when it comes to speaking up and speaking out, medyo mas madali yun. Medyo mas mabilis i-transact yun. So, me as a freelancer, mas may control ako when it comes to, trying to get things by communicating what I feel and, saying my opinions without getting angry. Kasi nasa akin yung, kumbaga ako yung agency of power and nagagawa ko siya. But the several times I was in the corporate world, I had 4 companies actually na nag-corporate ako. So, gano'n kadami. Gulo-gulo din naman ng professional life ko. Medyo mahirap. No? So, yun yung mga pagkakataon na when you, like what I said earlier, gano'n naman ako eh. I send signals muna na okay, nahihirapan ako. Ganun ako. And speaking out is not just about, just saying things with loaded emotions. Hindi naman ganun yun eh. Simply saying, I'm having difficulty with this. That's already speaking out. As simple as that. I'm having difficulty with this. Can you help me?
Right.
Or I cannot do this. Because not all people can do that. You know what I'm saying? Not all people can do that. So, ako ganun ako. Marami namang nakinig, but yes, like what Anil said, there were deaf ears, even though you kept sending signals and kept trying to reach out to them and trying to tell them there's something wrong or there's something that you don't understand and you need help from them, but they don't hear you. Ako, in my case, dalawa lang yan. It's either pag hindi ka pa rin nakinig sa mga subtle na parinig ko or sa mga upfront ko na pakikipag-usap sa'yo, lalayasan kita. Literal. So medyo ganun ako. And yes, like what Anil said, I'm not afraid of burning bridges kasi.
That's very...
No. And that's beneficial for both parties. Sa totoo lang, more than negative.
Ang ganda. Alam mo, grabe natutuwa ako kasi sobrang ang dami kong natututunan. I mean, dito sa sa usap lang natin. So, parang nagkukwentuhan lang tayo pero like sobrang insightful and all. Kasi ako din, personally, I'm actually also very passionate about my beliefs and all. So sometimes, when I get too passionate about something, for example, just a group of friends, nag-uusap na kami, nagchikahan, and then parang there's this joke na parang na-offend ako or na-offend yung belief ko na yun. And then, may tendency ako maging KJ about it kasi parang I'd correct it on the spot or I'd like bring up na parang, hey, that's a bad joke, parang ganito dapat, tapos parang mababago na yung mood ng group, parang ganon. So parang, sometimes, that's my way of speaking up. Parang feeling ko sometimes, I am, ang tawag doon, out of place yung pag-speak out ko. So, my question is there a proper way of speaking up or speaking out? Or is there a right time to it? Or when do you know when you have to speak up na? Medyo personal siya sa akin.
Yeah, I think, Gail, you have a problem. So, charing na.
Oh my God! Totoo ba?
Ko lang ibabalik ko lang doon sa sinabi ni Baha ng burning bridges. He doesn't purposely burn bridges. So, parang...
Oh my God, thank you.
We had an experience, yung sa job namin where we met, pangalanan natin, we worked in LaSalle and we were together. I imagine yung struggle ng bosses namin na we were so young, tapos sobrang driven, sobrang grabe kami mag-speak out. Pero alam mo, we never had issues with them. I really wanna parang Just give credit to where it's due, yung boss namin sa Lasal, sina Miss Jill, our colleagues, Sir Rafi, Peter, who all of them, parang we've always, parang we never had personalan and they never silenced us. So,
Wow.
even if Baha did the same
Fair.
thing, na umalis din siya, literal, parang, it was never, parang it was all patched up. So I think it's not about burning bridges intentionally or on purpose, but if it's for your health, if it's for your own well-being, sure. Pero for me, hindi naman siya ginagawa on purpose. Like, sometimes it just doesn't work. But if you can still keep contact, if you can, parang keep that bridge, then, it's better for you also, parang in terms of, just, not having negative energy.
Wow, yeah.
To your question naman, oo, ako maraming ganyan. Share ko
Diba?
lang. Parang,
Oo.
when was this? The other day, parang I was at the office, kasi parang pumapasok na kami. Tapos I was having lunch dun sa pantry. May mga few Filipinos there who were talking about Duterte and the ABS-CBN. And I clearly have no respect for this administration because I think they practice selective justice. And I don't think that's how you govern, diba? Parang that's not how you lead the country. So, nakikinig ako, syempre sila parang they were siding, like, oh, tama yun.
Okay.
So, parang, do I say something? Do I not? And then that's when I realized na parang, do these people mean something to me? No. So,
Okay.
they're just people I see at work. We're not even friends. We don't talk about anything else. So I picked a battle and I said, ako na lang yung aalis. Bahala na sila.
Okay.
Sila yung mag-usap, sila yung It's their opinion. I'm not going to rain on their parade. Kasi hindi ko naman sila kaano-ano. The difference is, if I interject, it means I care about you and I just want you to know na parang may other side yung story. So in the same way, parang yan, minsan si Baha would always tell me na parang, kalma ka lang kasi. Ganyan, parang may pinanggagalingan kasi yon. So parang gano'n. So if you care kasi about the person, sasabihin mo talaga sa kanya na parang may pinanggagalingan yon. But to your question now, if there's a right time and a right place,
right,
I think if you care about it, it always has to be immediate. Don't wait. Parang sabihin mo na. But is there a right way? Yes. You don't want kasi to come out combative na parang ikaw yung nakikipag-away. You don't want that. You also don't want to parang, especially with friends is a safe space. If you start doing that to your friends, you sort of take away the safety of your space na, ay nako, si Gail, pag may sinabi tayo, magagalit siya. So wag na natin.
I have that tendency.
So parang, I guess it's pag friendship, very sensitive, very delicate, pero you have to come out just with your true intention because you're just concerned. Hindi ka naman nakikipag-away. Parang if your friend is, let's say, parang, lambasting a certain sector of society, syempre you're like, friend, hindi tama yan, di ba? Parang, I understand where you're coming from. I think it's important to let them know that you understand. And you're not fighting them, you're just explaining the other side. Yung parang ganun ba? Na parang, kasi I learned this when I first got to grad school. And, parang I was in an international program, so iba-iba kaming bansa, di ba? And that's when I realized, one of my classmates told me, sabi niya, you'll always be wrong to someone. And I was like, you're right. Sabi niya, so there's no use. Parang always trying to prove yourself right, always trying to make it about you. Because to some people, my very existence as a gay man is wrong. In some cultures, I'm punishable by death. So parang, you're always gonna be wrong to someone. So you have to pick your battles na kung if those people matter to you, then, I will come in and I will, but yung mga unnecessary, like yung mga, no offense, yung mga nag-aaway sa Facebook comments na hindi naman magkakakilala, I'm like, ano ba?
What if, they're parang directly attacking you? That's when you draw the line.
Pag gano'n?
Like, for example,
in person,
hindi mo kilala.
Ako sa personal.
Yun nga, for example, yun na nga, hindi mo talaga kilala, ganyan. Tapos biglang directly at you, like, for example, Hey, bakla ka, ganyan. Hindi, dapat ganyan. How do you deal with that naman?
Mo? Ay, bawal pala yun. Oh my God. Ano gagawin ko? Ay, hindi.
Kasi
Sandali.
diba parang,
Pwede mo lang
di ba
i-cut
nga,
yun eh. Ano?
so, I understand nga na sabi niyo, pag if hindi niyo siya kilala, you don't care about them, bahala kayo dyan. Pero yun nga, what if they're directly attacking you na as a person, your very existence na, how do you deal with that?
Doesn't matter eh. Ako sa age, again, I'm talking about where I am now. No? Um, wala. Kahit how deep you lambast me on social media or in person, kahit sabihan mo pa ako na kung anong mga bagay dyan, tapos wala naman ako mapapala sa'yo. As in, lalayas, tatakbuhan lang kita. Kunyari, nahabol mo ako ng itak at kung ano tatakbuhan lang kita, dahil wala akong pakialam sa'yo. So, in short, you have to learn how to ignore, and ignoring something that doesn't matter is also a skill.
Right? Kasi hindi na siya ganun kadali,
It's
I'm
also a
very
skill.
sensitive. Ako rin,
Absorbing everything will, you'll go nuts kapag absorb mo lahat
Right.
or papatulan mo lahat. May it be on social media, may it be in person. So, ignore. It's try mo lang siyang ignore sa totoo lang. Pag wala naman
True.
siyang magagawang maganda sa'yo, ganyan.
The art of not giving a fuck nga, sabi ng book na.
Hmm.
You wanna add to that, Anil?
If I was younger, ay papatulan ko. Ay, ganun ako nung bata ako. Away. Sino ka ba, diba? Parang, but as I grew older, yun nga, parang you just learn to pick your battles. And then, yun, parang I first of all, if you're my friend, you'll never do that to me. So, my friends will never do that. So, kung hindi kita kilala, parang ako ignore lang talaga. And I think some people would, think that ignoring is not it is. At some points, it is a skill. I agree with Baha. Parang, kung hindi ka naman nagmamatter sa akin, diba? Kaya ngayon parang if I have the ability to cut the cord from you, that means you don't matter to me.
Right.
So, bal ka dyan. Diba? Sila
Na-enjoy niyo ba ang episode na to? Kung oo, pwes abangan niyo ang part 2 dahil makakasama natin muli si Baha at Anil at pag-uusapan naman namin kung paano natin dapat gamitin ang ating boses sa social media. Dito lang yan sa The Bakit Show.